I almost dismissed government AI initiatives completely until a quiet power play shifted the board. If you ignore how nations are centralizing data today, your future is heavily exposed. One radical blueprint reveals exactly where global control is heading. Bureaucracy has always been the graveyard of innovation. Most nations treat artificial intelligence as a regulatory headache, setting up endless committees just to draft basic safety rules. You probably experience this friction every time you renew a passport or file taxes. But the traditional model of fragmented departments hoarding citizen data is quietly dying. While Western countries are bogged down in legislative hearings about artificial intelligence risks, a totally different approach is emerging in the Middle East. They are treating artificial intelligence not as a tool to regulate, but as the foundational operating system for a state. By ripping up the standard bureaucratic playbook, they are building a framework that completely bypasses legacy systems. And the first major move just went live. The United Arab Emirates just established a dedicated artificial intelligence and data authority. This is not an advisory panel. It is a fully empowered government body mandated to build the government of the future. Instead of patching artificial intelligence onto old systems, this new authority has absolute oversight over how public data intersects across the entire nation. They are standardizing research, heavily funding infrastructure, and pulling autonomous technologies directly into public services. Consider the sheer scale of centralizing an entire country's data into one cohesive ecosystem. It eliminates the friction between healthcare, transportation, and finance regulators. By elevating this to a cabinet-level priority, they are signaling a massive shift in sovereign wealth allocation. But executing this requires a very specific mechanism. Securing top-tier computational power is the single biggest bottleneck for any nation right now. The UAE recognized that whoever controls the compute dictates the economy. This new data authority is tasked with forming strategic partnerships with global tech giants to bring massive server clusters directly to their shores. They are heavily backing localized large language models, ensuring their sovereign data never has to leave their borders for processing. This creates a secure sandbox where government agencies can test predictive algorithms on actual citizen data without violating international privacy frameworks. By controlling the hardware and the data pipeline, the state can instantly deploy automated solutions for urban planning and public safety. Yet building the physical infrastructure exposes a deeply hidden vulnerability most governments ignore. Hardware is entirely useless without the human capital to direct it. The new authority faces the massive hurdle of importing and retaining elite artificial intelligence talent. Global demand for machine learning engineers currently outweighs supply by a staggering margin. To solve this, the mandate includes aggressive policies to attract foreign researchers, effectively turning the region into a magnet for top-tier developers who are frustrated by regulatory red tape in their home countries. You are watching a real-time brain drain, engineered at the state level. They are actively funding specialized universities and offering unprecedented access to government datasets for research. This environment allows developers to iterate massive civic projects at lightning speed. What happens when those projects launch is completely unprecedented. Government services are transforming into predictive, invisible background processes. Imagine a civic system that anticipates your business needs, auto-approves permits using algorithmic risk assessment, and completely removes human bottlenecks from public administration. By merging data silos under one powerful authority, the United Arab Emirates is building a digital twin of their entire economy. This means policy decisions are no longer based on lagging indicators or outdated census reports, but on real-time data flows. Startups operating in this ecosystem gain an unfair advantage, testing their advanced tools in a fully integrated smart city environment. The entire nation operates like a highly agile technology company rather than a sluggish bureaucracy. And this creates a ripple effect that will soon hit your local economy. Sovereign artificial intelligence is becoming the new global arms race. As this Middle Eastern blueprint proves successful, other nations will be forced to adapt or face severe economic irrelevance. Countries that fail to establish their own centralized data authorities will watch their intellectual property and tech talent drain away to forward-thinking regions. For investors and professionals, this clearly signals that government technology is no longer a slow-moving, low-margin sector. It is the new frontier for massive capital deployment. The framework being built today sets the standard for how nations will operate for the next century. You have a narrow window to align your skills and investments with regions that are actively building the infrastructure of tomorrow. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay ahead of the massive geopolitical